Queen Elizabeth I is on the throne. She is aided by her council. The Queen's reign is threatened by her first cousin, Mary of Scots. Queen Mary follows the Catholic religion, while Queen Elizabeth I follows the Protestant religion. England and the rest of Europe are at arm's length because of the different beliefs in religion, which causes clashes among European nations. This picture will make an attempt to examine the causes and effects between the two reigning sovereigns over each of their respective lands or nations concerning the topic of religion during the Renaissance period, which was during the 16th and 17th centuries. Queen Elizabeth I is on the throne. She is aided by her council. The Queen's reign is threatened by her first cousin, Mary of Scots. Queen Mary follows the Catholic religion, while Queen Elizabeth I follows the Protestant religion. England and the rest of Europe are at arm's length because of the different beliefs in religion, which causes clashes among European nations. This picture will make an attempt to examine the causes and effects between the two reigning sovereigns over each of their respective lands or nations concerning the topic of religion. Scene 1. Queen Elizabeth I at court, being advised that her cousin by blood is a threat to her life and her throne. Elizabeth I and Mary of Scots are second cousins. Henry VIII is the brother to Mary of Scots' mother. What developments do we have of my dear cousin Mary concerning her country and the Your Majesty, heritage? From our supporters in Scotland, Queen Mary is raising plots among her army and Catholic supporters to seize your throne. Mary poses a threat to your life and the security of England. Elizabeth I, my lords, I have faced many dangers as a princess and as a sovereign. First, I was sent to the Tower of London for crimes I was incorrectly accused of committing. Attempted assassinations on my life. Mary is not an immediate threat. Let's put that issue aside. Madam, there are constant threats from heretics here and abroad who wish to see your cousin Mary, a devout Catholic and Queen of Scots, put on the English throne. Mary, my dear cousin, is put away in a safe place. Let's leave her there until all these issues can be safely resolved. Scene 2. Mary at a secluded palace in the countryside, away from London, is kept abreast of political issues from Scotland and England.
Queen Mary, Sir Robert, what news do we have from Scotland concerning our strategy to achieve our ambition?
Your Majesty, Queen of Scots, we have support from our Catholic friends and supporters to make an attempt to end the Protestant rule over England, headed by Queen Elizabeth I. We have a secret spy network in Scotland and England who are eager to...
That is good news to hear, Sir Robert. We should be in control of England and establish the Catholic religion as the true religion. My lords, with this I hear that I shall have Mary, Queen of Scots, arrested for treason. Your Majesty, it has been brought to our attention that Mary has a spy network in Scotland and have in England. They are eager to overthrow you as queen and put Mary of Scots as the Queen of England. What evidence, me lords, do you have to support these theories or facts? Your Majesty, we have our own spy network and intelligence that have written documentation that Queen Mary has conspired with heretics to have you assassinated.
Scene 3. Back in London, Queen Elizabeth I is advised by her council that Queen Mary of Scotland should face execution for treason. Scene 2. Mary at a secluded palace in the countryside.
How often have we approached the Queen about marriage and having an heir to the throne? She courts, but she does not marry. What are we to do? Pray.
Elizabeth, counsel, please be advised that Mary Stuart is my cousin and a sovereign bestowed by God. We must not rush to conclusion until we have all the facts.
Sir Robert,
that truly
what news thou bringest me?
Are true. Furthermore, my cousin is kept in a safe place where I only dictate what food she eats.
Your Majesty,
she sees in her residence.
Mary, our plans to overthrow the English sovereign are in effect. Spies are stationed in various parts of London to pass valuable information needed to seize power and have Queen Elizabeth I executed.
Counsel, the Queen states no further discussion. We must convince her that Queen Mary of Scots must be executed before her ideas spread rampant in Scotland and in England. If the Queen had an heir to the throne, the English crown would be more secured and Mary of Scots a lesser threat to the Queen and the Protestant religion.
Your Majesty, there are rumors of plots to have you executed by your own Scottish people in Scotland. They disapprove of your marriage to Dudley and wish to have your son James placed on your throne in Scotland. Sir Robert, I'm no longer married to Dudley, and the spies in Scotland do not frighten me. Madam, at this stage it is suggested suggested you have your cousin removed completely from the throne of
Scene
England.
4. Back at the secluded palace in the countryside, away from London, Mary of Scots continued to receive news from Scotland, England, and other parts of Europe.
Your Majesty, the spies within our networks from England and Scotland have sufficient evidence to prove Mary of Scots is guilty of plotting your execution.
Not against Elizabeth, but against the Queen herself, Mary. Determined to get Elizabeth out of the way, off the throne of England, Mary is unaware that spies in Scotland seek to cause confusion and chaos amongst the Scottish people themselves.
Your Majesty, we have written documentations that were sent by Mary's spies who are in alliance with the Catholics and the Catholic Church that specifically states Mary's participation in an alliance to have you executed. These written documentations were decoded by our messengers in London. My lords, it is good and bad that you have concrete evidence to prove my cousin's treacherous plot to have me executed. This is truly a sad time for the both of us. We were both anointed by God to be queens of two different nation states. Oh, how I ponder about the execution of a princess or queen. I detest that action. Take 2 of the previous scene. Your Majesty, may we proceed with the meeting with the facts?
The accumulation of evidence that Mary of Scots is in a conspiracy to have...
We have evidence in Mary's own handwriting, given the order that you should be executed. Counsel, what needs to be done in order to destroy this conspiracy against me? Your Majesty, we need you to sign this warrant, and it will guarantee Mary's execution. Evil, cunning, and deceitful creature of the devil. I let her stay in England as a guest, and this is how I am treated. My own cousin caught in plots and espionage to have me killed and to seize my throne. My lords, you will have the signed warrant, but do not deliver until I give the affirmation that it should be delivered. Agreed? Agreed. Sir Cecil, the matter pertaining to Mary, Queen of Scots, should be handled by you. I wish no further discussion concerning the matter. Understand, Your Majesty.
Stewart, guilty of plotting my execution? What strong evidence does my counsel have to prove that this is not an accusation?
Madam, your plots to overthrow Elizabeth and bring England back to a Catholic nation has been foiled or uncovered. Lord Babington has been discovered as a spy and traitor to the English throne, and has been ordered to be executed drastically. There was a warrant for your arrest, being that you are residing in the nation of England. The warrant states clearly that you are involved in a conspiracy to have Queen Elizabeth I executed. Ha! I cannot be charged with treason, being that I am a sovereign myself.
Yes, proceed.
England's laws, I am a sovereign, a queen. I need not bow to England or its laws. Your Majesty, it does not look pleasant for you at this moment. In Scotland, the various Scottish tribes have risen against you, including that Protestant preacher John Knox. You have not set eyes on your son James VI of Scotland in years. The allies you once possessed have dwindled to none. Now death awaits you at the Tower in London, England. Sir Robert, no need to talk to me about death. As a queen, I have faced the possibility of death since I was crowned Queen of Scotland and France. It's just a matter of time. Madam, time is of the essence. With a warrant signed but not delivered, and Queen Elizabeth I have not visited you since your arrival in England. You must act now to save your life or face immediate death. I have nothing to fear, Sir Robert.
Scene 6. Back in seclusion from London, Mary awaits news from her spy network concerning her plot, especially with Babbington.
Madam, Queen of Scots, there are some men from the court of Queen Elizabeth I to escort you to the Tower of London, where you will confront a judge to respond to the charge of treason against Queen Elizabeth I? To the Tower of London, Sir Robert? You must have been sipping too much on the grapes of wine. Let's go. I want to confront these charges.
Madam, true, but you are not in Scotland. You are in England. In England, you must adhere to its laws.
Judge to Queen Mary. Madam, you have heard the accusations concerning the conspiracy of our most Queen Elizabeth I. Do you find yourself a part of this conspiracy? Without the proper legal presentation, Mary could not respond appropriately to the questions of the judge by herself. She was left to her own scruple to survive the harshness of the court system in London for a queen. I plead innocent to all charges that have been raised against me. If any documentation has my signature authorizing the death of Queen Elizabeth I guarantee you magistrates that the signature is a forgery. Take 2. We are going to convene and come to a conclusion concerning this case. All hail the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth the Most High. As judges in this court in England, we are ready to render a decision.
Ordering Queen Mary of Scots to be executed.
Head judge speaking. Mary of Scots, Queen of Scotland, the judges of this court, having heard and observed all the evidence presented in this case concerning the charge of treason by you against Queen Elizabeth I, we have come to the conclusion that you, Mary of Scots, is guilty on the charge of treason, and you shall be executed by being beheaded within the Tower of London. May God be with your soul. My lords, I have pleaded my case. Now let me be alone in solitude with my lord before I go to see him in his house. Your request be granted. Back in Queen Elizabeth I's court, news of Queen Mary's execution has reached her.
The accusations are many and dangerous. If proven
Queen
correct,
Elizabeth,
Mary
my
can
counsel,
be made
how
with
this
her
execution
life.
took place. I never gave the order that Mary should be executed. I only signed the warrant. It was not to have been dispatched. My God, have mercy on all your souls. I am innocent of her execution. Me, Queen Elizabeth I, will I ever have an anointed monarch by God be executed, a queen myself. Your Majesty, the deed is done. She was a threat to you and England. I want to know immediately who handed the warrant to the headmaster of the guard in the Tower of London. My heart is truly heavy. May she rest in peace. I would imagine, my lords, you are all happy. I want a report on this situation concerning Scotland, England, Mary, James, her son, and myself. Your command, Your Majesty, is understood.
Mary, I pray you will come to the correct conclusion.